Nemi, organizations these days are constantly bombarded with threats, right? No surprise there. You've often also talked about protecting yourself from malware. And then there's the element of, let's call it insider threat. So, how do these themes come together, and how should organizations view both insider threat and perhaps the shift from threat detection into threat prevention when talking about this particular area?
Yeah, I think insider threats is an area that is not talked about enough, right? And just to get started, right? Insider threats isn't always malicious, right? Could be malicious, could be negligent, could be accidental. It's all of those are areas that you've got to think about, and your approach to dealing with insider threat would change depending on which of those three areas, accidental, malicious, or negligent. So let's start with accidental. You can take healthcare, what we do in healthcare. You could mistakenly send medical records for one patient to another patient, right? If you're doing that by email, it's very easy to type in the wrong email and boom, it's gone. And how do you recall that? So that's one area. Another area, that's where you're being negligent, which often can be countered by proper training or putting in certain gates. For instance, someone take the example we had about a year ago with the Silicon Valley Bank when that had its troubles, and there were so many scams out there with people writing to accounts departments all around the country to say, hey, we're previously banking with SVB, and with all that's going on, we've changed our banking information. So here's my banking information. Please update this on your system. Very low tech, highly effective if you don't have controls in place. So organizations that are negligent, who don't have a process to say, for instance, you cannot make a change to a corporate banking information only on the back of an email. Right? You may need to have a 2-3 step process to say, call a known phone number, for instance, where you've established contact with this company. These are the approved contacts. Reach out to them by phone, by email, directly to them to confirm that they're the case. Or even better, you have some type of ERP system with a vendor portal where they can go in. They have to MFA, log in, and all that to make the changes themselves. So you can help protect your team members by doing that. And then there is just folks who are malicious, right? Someone is, and it goes from selling trade secrets to your competition to something that happens every day where people are leaving for another job, often in the same industry, and then they download all of your internal information, right? And they take that information. It gives them a head start in the new role. For things that are malicious, you need a little bit more sophistication in your defense, and you can use a UEBA technology where you just see what is abnormal. Right, this person doesn't usually download this amount of information. Why are they suddenly doing this? No one else from the marketing department has access to IT architecture folders. Why does this one person have that? So you need systems internally that are able to trigger on things that are not normal, but also you need to put in, controls that have clear structures, the delineation, segregation of duty, and other things that help prevent the lateral internal movement of or access to information that should be sensitive and not everyone should have access to. But I will say that tracking or detecting malicious insiders is a challenge, because you don't want to get in the way of people doing business or doing their day job. And people get creative, right? There's so many ways. I mean, you can put in every single control in the world, from BDI to everything to say I'm going to control and I'm going to push, keep people out. And then there are people who would just do screen recording, right? They have legitimate access to this information. They can just sit there and record that information. So again, going back to risk, how risk and controls, how much do you want to spend trying to, detect or thwart people from doing what they will do. So it's a tough balance, but you've got to be aware of it.